Holy shit, bruh. What's up, everybody? Bruh, I just recorded this whole video and I didn't know that OBS had an update, so I guess it didn't actually record anything because I just used the record button from up here. Fuck me. Alright. I'm gonna zoom through the prelims really quickly because some of these fights I'm not that interested in or I'm not really too aware of. Um, First fight of the night, opener of the card. Hamdi Abdelwahib versus Jamal Pogues. Um, Jamal Pogues definitely has gyno. Nothing wrong with that though. It's just funny to see. Same card as Adesanya too. But I'm going with Hamdi Abdelwahib. I'm not too familiar with either. I think I remember seeing Jamal Pogues fight before, but I'm not too sure about Abdelwahib. But I think this may be his UFC debut too, right? Hopefully, we need some more heavyweights. But yeah, I'm just gonna go with Hamdi. Second fight of the card: Bogdan Grad, fighter from Austria, versus Lucas Alexander from Brazil. Don't know either. Gotta be honest with you. I'm gonna go with. You know what? In the last recording, I chose Lucas Alexander, but I think I'm gonna go Bogdan Grad just off the buzz. Jasmine Jasudavicius versus Myra Bueno Silva. I know Bueno Silva is seasoned. She's a veteran. And she used to fight at bantamweight, but I believe the cut may be too draining for her at flyweight, and I think she wouldn't be as good and won't carry as much power or a chin as she did in bantamweight. So I'm gonna go with Jasmine. To go by decision, I think she's gonna grapple with Bueno Silva, and Bueno Silva's gonna gas out. Even though I know she fought the whole 5 rounds, she was like barely in it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go with Jasudavicius. Terrence McKinney versus Damir Hadzovic. I'm not gonna be surprised if Hadzovic wins by any KO or submission. But this is supposed to be a layup fight for McKinney, so just gonna go with McKinney. Even though I wouldn't necessarily bet on him because I think that's too much of a risk. Shamil Gaziev versus Thomas Peterson. Not too sure about who Thomas Peterson is. For the memes, I'm gonna just go with Shamil Gaziev. Naimov versus Khan Ofli. Khan Ofli, his name sounds familiar, but I can't recall the last time I've seen him fight or what card he was last on. So this is another one of the fights that I'm not too sure of. But I'm gonna go with Naimov. Can never bet against the OVs. So there, yeah. Opener of the main card. Oh fuck, my leg fell asleep. Holy shit. So yeah, for SDM versus Mike Davis. Oh fuck. In the last recording, I was talking about how Mike Davis has like some secret ancient fighting folklore about him from when he went to AKA in Thailand and whatever or something like that. But and like what the masses really say about him is that he has good power and really good striking. But I checked his resume. His resume isn't too impressive to me. He doesn't have any notable wins or people that I know of, honestly. And I think going based off of the Barcelos fight versus the Talbot fight, Barcelo versus Talbot fight, sometimes it's too early to say that they're so and so good because, bro, there were people talking about Talbot like he was gonna be fucking Jose Aldo, or bro, some people were unironically saying he beat Sean O'Malley. And all right, whatever. But yeah, so I don't think his resume is too credible yet. If he beats Zion, that's a good win, and I would be impressed, and I would be ready to hop on the Mike Davis train. But I think I've seen more of Zion. Good technical skill, crazy KO he had against Matt Favola in his last fight. That's a solid name. I think he has a couple others that I just can't remember off the top of my head, which is, sounds like I like how ironic it is. But he also has, I think, more fights in the UFC. So I'm betting on Ziam, even though I know that he's the favorite. I would personally bet on Ziam to win, maybe by later round KO, later third round KO, or by decision. Next up, Saeed Nurmagomedov versus Vinicius Oliveira. Timo Khabib and Charles. Yeah, I know. I like Vinicius Oliveira. I would hope for him to win. This wouldn't really be a fight I would bet on, to be honest. But I'm unsure of his grappling. And even though, the name lost aura because of Umar is still a really good wrestler. You know what I mean? And Saeed had a really close fight with Jonathan Martinez, somebody in the top 15, and it was a top 15 ranked fighter before. I think Saeed is more proven, I guess. I think he has more tools, and he'll highly rely on his grappling to win the fight. So I probably go with Saeed by decision or submission. Next up, Sergey versus Jairzinho. I like Jairzinho. It would be cool to see him win. I don't know why I clicked on that one. All right. Yeah, I like Biggie Boy. And I would hope to see him win, but I don't think he can. Sergey is too much of a tank of a human being for Jairzinho. He's coming from a combat sambo background. Even though he's more known for his striking, I think he at least has that to rely on if things go bad. People are going to be like, oh, but he didn't do that versus Volkov. He wasn't fucking with Volkov, so he wanted to really just put the hands on him, but he couldn't get to him. I thought Pavlovich was going to win that fight pretty easily, though. But yeah, I think Sergey, with his crazy reach, insane boxing and power, I'm going him. First 2 rounds, KO. Definitely not going to the third round. No matter who wins. Shara versus MVP. In the last recording, I referred to Paige or MVP as I compared it to Max Holloway going up to fight Dustin, and I think it's gonna be the same result. I don't think MVP was bulking how he should have if he was gonna make a jump that big to middleweight. And just to have this one-off fight and then go back down, I think that hurts him in the long run because he has nothing to gain from this fight. Win or lose, really. Like, if he wins, yeah, like, that's a lot of hype. That brings a lot of eyes and stuff. He probably gets another fight to do. Maybe like Apollo Costa or whatever if he wins. If he decides to stay at middleweight. But he's still like what, 37? He doesn't have much time left. And if he wants to seriously compete at 170, like, there's no point doing this fight. But yeah, he still brings a lot to the table. Really good striking. Very crafty, very fast. Has good power. I think Shara is all these things too, though. He's very quick with his feet, especially with his kicks. He can strike decently well, even for a person with one eye. He's also very crafty, but he holds more power, I think, and presumably a better chin, to be honest. MVP's been knocked out before. Shara's undefeated. I'm going to go Shara. Main event for the card: Nasruddin Imavov versus Adesanya. In the last recording, I was saying Adesanya is very overrated in terms of. Well, for one, I talked about his legacy. how his only good wins are Rob and Alex, but I think those still attest to his skill. I'm not saying that he's bad. I'm just saying like his resume is pretty overrated. Like for a second, greatest middleweight of all time. You know, like only really 2 good wins. You know, um, 2 or 3 good wins. You know, I'd probably say Paulo Costa because he was undefeated at the time. But I never thought Izzy was like all that. You know what I'm saying? I think people used to talk about his grappling and takedown defense. I was really good before, but I think he never really faced any capable grapplers up to like Dreykus. Like Vittori would get him on his back, and then he's too fucking meathead enough to properly lock up a submission or take the back. Cannonier wasn't gonna grapple. He was really gonna just strike. Nothing happened in the Yoel Romero fight. What else? What else? Oh, I think he fought Derek Brunson too, right? I don't know if I can't remember that. But yeah, I think Imavov carries a lot of power. He's on a streak right now. He has the momentum. He has good striking. He has some grappling to him, which I think he can rely on. I don't think it's enough to submit, but I think he has enough to control Izzy on the ground. If he decided to go that route, but he has that ego about him. He's gonna want to strike, which I think puts him in a lot of danger. I also mentioned before, the thing is like if Izzy wins, he's gonna be back in the title picture. I think he needs at least 2 fights to have like a 2-fight win streak to fight for the title again. So I don't even want to see Izzy win this. Like I like Izzy, I think he's pretty good, but I don't think he's all that. I don't think he's like a top 10 champion of all time, or maybe 10 at least. You know what? That's a video idea. Y'all gotta remind me though. Y'all gotta let me know if y'all want that. I think there just comes a time where you're not that guy anymore and you don't have it. Adesanya didn't look too bad in the Dreykus fight, but I think this many losses, 3 losses within the last 5 of his fights is pretty bad. It's not a good telling of where you're at in your career. So I think I'm gonna go with Imavov, even though I'm still surprised he's the underdog in this fight. Yeah, like I think that's a little bit free, man. I don't know. Who would I parlay? I parlayed Imavov, Shara, Sergey, and Ziam. And I put all those as money line. So just hoping for what that is for.